Did you know that your Toronto Zoo invests in science and technology that directly supports conservation activities for animals in the wild? You might be surprised to know that some of those technologies allow us to closely monitor their health without ever touching them. The key to one of those technologies can be found in this picture. Can you see it? Need a hint? Look closely. Yes, that's it. Poop. Or as we refer to it in science, feces.
The scoop on poop.
Why is that staff member collecting poop? Isn't it just garbage?
Actually, poop is full of information that we can use to monitor the health and well-being of our animals. Feces can be collected and sent to our Wildlife Health and Science Center, where scientists analyze it using a variety of tests. Let's head to the lab to find out more. Here in the Toronto Zoo Reproductive Science Lab, one of our main areas of research is understanding hormone patterns in animal species and their impact on well-being, a science known as endocrinology.
Where do hormones come from in the first place? And how does poop fit into the picture? It all begins with the release of signaling hormones in the brain that travel through the bloodstream to stimulate the production of reproductive hormones, estrogen and progesterone in the ovaries, and testosterone in the testes. These hormones are ultimately excreted as waste in urine or feces. We can extract the hormones and turn this waste into an important source of information about animal physiology.
To do this, we use a test called an enzyme immunoassay, or EIA, an antibody-based technique that targets a hormone of interest. Hormone levels from the EIAs are analyzed and plotted on graphs like the one shown here. This fecal progesterone data was collected from one of our female giraffes and allowed us to monitor ovulation. For a giraffe, this occurs, on average, every 15 days. We can use this information to predict the optimal time for breeding introductions and understand more about her overall reproductive health following breeding events. Fecal progesterone levels will change if the female becomes pregnant. This graph shows a substantial and sustained increase in progesterone shortly after breeding was observed with the male. The data clearly told us that this female was pregnant. Information like this is particularly important for species that don't show outward signs of pregnancy, and we can notify our wildlife health team that a baby giraffe is on the way. So, how does this apply to conservation efforts for animals in the wild? Once we understand the basic reproductive physiology of a species, we can use these tools to non-invasively monitor wild populations. For example, field biologists track and monitor threatened wild caribou herds across Canada. By collecting a single fecal sample, we can tell them if an animal is pregnant. Although they might not know which individual a sample came from, this information is useful in understanding population dynamics of the herd as a whole and helps us to determine if birth rates are changing over time or being affected by changes in their environment.
Pretty impressive for just poop, right? But that's not all. Feces can be used to evaluate a variety of other health metrics. We can measure stress-related hormones to better understand how animals are impacted by their environment. It's also a source of DNA that can be used for genetic analyses to guide population management strategies. Feces are routinely used to detect and treat parasites, and can help us to understand the complex nutritional needs of a given species.
Amazing. Who knew poop could be so powerful?
That's right. The next time you visit your Toronto Zoo, come and see the researchers in the endocrinology lab located in the Wildlife Health and Science Center, and watch conservation in action.